Hello, welcome to Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyakun. Today we're going to look at the announcement that has been done by the Governor of the Central Bank of Ghana, specifically Dr. Addison, that the 1 cedi note, this one, and the 2 cedi note, a commemorative note in honor of President Kwame Nkrumah, will be phased out soon. So we'll look at the pros and cons of these arguments out there. According to the Central Bank, it is very expensive to maintain this lower denomination as against, coming in with coins. We're going to look at that. And then we'll move on to UK, which has been hit hard by a shortage of drivers, specifically long truck drivers who are, we are told they are in the numbers of 100,000. They can't get access to such drivers, and so as a result, petrol stations are seeing long queues. We'll look at that with a Ghanaian base in the UK. But let's go straight to the business language platform to have what we have for today. Hello, welcome back. So that's a cat and dogs. Now the cat and dogs might be 1 cedi and 2 cedi notes. Now we're likely to lose them, hopefully by next year. Abdul, you're welcome. Take us through the performance of the stock market.
Gains in 3 equities today have pushed the market indices up. We've seen the composite index recording some 25.45 points, pushing the year-to-date return to 39.23%. What this means is that if you have invested your money in the stock market since the start of the year, your returns is around 39.23%. We have also seen the financial stocks also going up by 2.97%, giving you a return of 12.69% if you have invested in the market. Edward, on Friday we saw how the market recorded some significant loss, but this is on the reverse, and it's quite encouraging. If you want to know the equities that made the move on the market today, 3 equities made the move. Of course, MTN led the market, which has been leading the market for a while now. It's recorded some 8,287,000 shares as at the close of the session, followed by yes, that is Enterprise Ghana, which also recorded some 245,000. 245,000.
Okay, 245,000. Yes.
That's in terms of the value of the shares that were traded. It's around 2 billion Ghana cedis. That's quite significant.
2 million.
2 million rather. We saw some trading also in GCB, which did some 500. We saw 1,000 also with Enterprise Limited, which recorded the gains that we are talking about. Of course, it was the biggest gain of the day. It recorded some 10 pesos, followed by Total. It's been a while that I heard from Total. It has recorded some 3 pesos as on the market today, followed by MTN, which recorded some 2 pesos appreciation. Last week or so, we've seen some decline in the movement of the MTN equity. So, Edward, if you ask me what transpired on the market today, this is all that I can tell you.
Thank you very much. That's my colleague Sani Abdurrahman telling us what is happening or happened today on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Go for a short break. When we come back, we're going to get hooked onto Kudutan, based in the UK, to find out more about the shortage of petrol or fuel that's hit the UK hard.
May be aware, in the UK we are currently experiencing fuel shortage, and the government is telling us there's no need to panic because there's no fuel. But when you go out to the filling station, there are so many queues. At the moment, most people are staying at home, not going to work because of lack of fuel. And my car at the moment, if it's showing that there is less fuel in there. My fuel is currently on reserve, and so I can't really move it because I've been trying since Thursday to get fuel, but have not been successful. And at the moment, if I move this car, it might just stop on the way, and I don't want to risk that because in the UK at the moment, if you're running on low fuel and your car stops on a motorway, it is a punishable offense, and you get fined about 150 pounds to almost 5,000, depending on the level of disruptions you bring to that road.
So that was Kojo Jan, Ghanaian financial analyst, trying to tell us the challenge that is going through in the UK regards to getting access to fuel. Kojo, you are welcome. Hello? Hello, Kojo? Can you hear me? Kojo? Hello? Hello, Kojo?
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Yes.
All right. So you were in short telling us about the challenges you are going through to getting access to fuel. What exactly is happening in the UK with regards to fuel?
Yes, as we discussed, Bishop, about a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, we spoke about the shortage of drivers in the UK, and since then, we talked about the UK needing about 100,000 new drivers because some of it. Brexit, and then also when COVID came in, most of the drivers, EU drivers, left back for their respective countries and haven't returned back. So I think this is where we are now. The drivers are still, short in numbers and short of fuel to the filling stations because the government is telling us that there are enough, oil reserves. There are enough refineries, but we don't seem to have those fuel at the filling stations.
All right. So what exactly is being done to make sure that this shortage of drivers issue is addressed?
What is the government doing about that?
Yes.
Yes, basically, well, the government for but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I said that for now, the government come up with a few measures at the moment, and the first measure is
We seems to be having a challenge with the lines with Kojo in the UK. Well, let's go for a break, and when we come back, we'll try and get back to him to know exactly what the government is doing to make sure the supply chain disruptions are addressed.
The government wouldn't know how where to go or how to respond to that. So that's the first measure. the second measure is that the government has come up with a new visa scheme for these European drivers who would normally need visa to come into the country because of Brexit. And so the government has come up with a new about 10,500 new visas available to these drivers to come into the UK. But the question is that are they going to be taking this new opportunity to get back to the country, because the government is giving them about 3 months. This visa will be a special visa for 3 months, and it will expire on the eve of Christmas. So basically, they can do deliveries until the eve of Christmas, and then the visas come to an end. They'll have to return back to the countries they came from. So this is one of the things that the government is doing at the moment. And there's always also talk of by ministers that they want to deploy the military to come in to help out with this shortfall as well. But the government is saying that it has not gotten to that part yet. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
But talking about the visa issue here, so they are extending that visa concession to the drivers in the Europe, not outside that continent. I'm asking the visa concessions they are making. They are not extending beyond the boundaries of Europe. It's just within the European space, not to Africa.
Can you repeat that, please?
I'm asking that if the government is not going to extend this visa that they are issuing out the 10,000 visa to drivers that are in Africa, that can also be of help.
Well, this is more or less a very short term quick fix, which normally the government sees. These are European drivers who are used to driving in Europe, and it's more easier for them to come in for that short period of time to fill the gap, because as we said last time, if you bring in a driver from let's say Ghana, in the UK we drive on the right side, and then in Ghana they drive on the left side. So there will be an adjustment period for these drivers. They will need to go through a new testing system, which it will take a bit longer for them to pass out. I mean, even if the question is even will they be able to pass the test, because you need to have special driving license to drive these HGV vehicles. So I think that the government is looking at people who have already worked in the UK, not made back to the continent, and for them to come and kind of fill these gaps.
And how has this affected produce and product that is imported from Ghana to the UK in terms of transporting it to the various shops? The shortage of the long truck drivers.
In general, there's already a panic going on around the country, where we've seen on TV where people are starting to buy products in large quantities, thinking that with a shortage of fuel, the next thing will be shortage of food coming into the shops, and of course people are also thinking that at the moment even there's a talk of fuel hikes around filling stations where people go in, then they are paying an extra £1.20 for a gallon of fuel, which is hopefully will not get to the level where there's going to be a high prices. But at the moment, as you said, people know that when there are shortage of these drivers, then it will end up affecting products coming in and out of the country, and so we're already experiencing people going to the shops to buy large quantities, trying to hoard, because there's already talk of not enough food in the market during Christmas, because if this goes on for the next 4 years, for the next four weeks, then basically we'll be getting into November, where most of these Christmas there's going to be shortage of these products in the shops.
All right, thank you very much, Kojo Jan. We'll come back later and find out more from you about what is happening in the UK. That was our
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you too. That's Kojo Jan, a Ghanaian based in the UK financial analyst, and is telling us about what is actually happening in the UK. Now we go straight to talk to Salasi Kofi Akom, CEO of Gatesfic, to find out more from him. He was a banker, now he's doing his own business. Find out more from him. The move by the Bank of Ghana to phase out a 1 cedi and a 2 cedi note. What will be the advantage and the disadvantage to the trading community or the business community? Salasi, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
Great to have you. Now, Salasi, how convenient is it to use 1 cedi to do business or 2 cedis in doing business?
Very well. I mean, to answer the question directly, before then, a very good evening to your cherished viewers. To answer the question directly, Ghana is predominantly MSN, that is a medium, small-scale enterprise economy, and where you have a lot of tabletop businesses dominating most of our market centers. And so when you have businesses in such micro domination, then you will need the circulation of lesser denomination to facilitate business. And so it is very important to have lesser denominations of our currency circulating extensively to keep the micro, medium, and small-scale enterprises afloat.
All right. Now, I'll come back to, let's pick a soundbite from the governor of the Bank of Ghana, and then we'll continue. Let's pick that soundbite.
This was a note that was issued as a commemorative note. You know, so commemorative notes are not notes that you continue to print, right? And therefore, what we have done in the last 2 years is to introduce the 2 cedi Ghana coin, right? And the 2 cedi Ghana coins, I believe, are circulating, and you would expect that eventually they would more or less play the role that the 2 cedi notes play. Both the 1 Ghana cedi note and the 2 Ghana cedi note would eventually be phased out because they are not cost effective in terms of the printing costs of notes that circulate very widely, and they come back very torn and soiled and very difficult for currency processing machines to process them. We have built.
Hello, Salasi?
Yeah.
Great. So you heard a governor talking about the fact that it's not cost effective to maintain or to continue to print the 1 cedi and 2 cedi notes. What is your reaction to that?
I mean, yes, on the surface of it, if you want to look at it on the surface, he is speaking from a certain premise, okay? These are attributes to macroeconomic fundamentals. However, as I gave or stated in my preamble, our economy is dominated by a certain level of business activities, and these are the day-to-day business activities that drives Ghana's economy predominantly. Okay, the Nkosia seller, the Groninkatia seller, the Kofi Brookman seller, the tabletop business. So if you want to say it, they want to trade it on that premise that you are going to maintain the coin, and because the notes the printing of the notes are becoming expensive. I would like to give your viewers a little bit background to how we came about the 2 cedi Ghana note. We all know by extension that somewhere in 2010, under Governor Ebisata, who later became the Vice President of our Republic, had brought the 2 cedi note on basically 2 strong premises. It was a commemorative note to mark the centenary celebration of Sadiku Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Number 2, because there was a 1 cedi note and there was a 5 cedi note, the micro, medium scale enterprises were finding difficulties in producing change in the system. So that when somebody gave you 5 cedi for a purchase of a 1 cedi item, getting 4 CD was going to give you 4 of the 1 CD. However, if you had 2 CD in the system, then we are going to give you a change of just 2 notes. So those were some of the major reasons that the Bank of Ghana, after 2010, had factored in taking the decision of bringing the circulation to the denomination.
All right.
However, fast forward to 2021, is the MPC, that's the Monetary Policy Committee, in their wisdom and intelligence, think that it is rather becoming a liability to print the 2 CD and 1 CD notes than it is serving its purpose. Then, I mean, they have the right to go ahead and then trade it out from the system. However, they need to maintain the coin because there is going to be 5 CD notes, and when there is 5 CD notes, and because our economy is predominantly small, medium, micro scale, then it aids in the exchange of buying something. Do you get a drift?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's in order that way. However, when we are filling up the notes, then we need to print in more of the coin to supplement the trading of the notes.
Exactly, that's what he said, that they're going to mint more of the coin, the 2 CD coin, and then the 1 CD coin.
Exactly what should be. Otherwise, then there's going to be a huge exchange gap in the micro, medium scale environment.
But the problem is,
Selassie,
the challenge that some people have spoken to are saying, look here, you know, the coin is the weight is heavier than the note. So putting 2 CD coin in the pocket alone is not easy. It's a bit difficult. So we wish that the 2 CD note is maintained, or the 1 CD note is maintained, because that's not been our culture. Elsewhere in the UK, I mean, it's a normal trend or normal life to make sure you have some coins on you.
Well, that is a valid point. That is a very valid point we cannot estimate. However, we at DeepSeek are critically looking at the dominant business activity within our market space or within our economic space. You and I mean, Bishop, you agree that the micro, small scale dominates the driving environment, the business driving environment of Ghana's economy. What it is that you will need a smaller denomination to transact. So even if you go to a commercial bank, in most instances, there is a struggle to get 1 CD, 2 CD, because it is of a high demand. It is of a high demand. And that tells you the measurement of our economy, or what is driving our economy. And so we are rather want to focus on the fact that because we are dominated by a micro, small scale environment, the need to fade it out will be problematic. However, if the fading out of the notes, which is rather becoming a liability in printing with high cost of printing, then it is very incumbent on the bank, which rightly so they stated, to print more of the coin, which is cheaper to print, and will serve the purpose because they are going to maintain the 5 CD notes. So the variable between, the variable of the viability difference between the 5 CD, the 2 CD, and the 1 CD will still be relevant and become very fundamental in the macro day-to-day trading. If you go to any savings and loans bank or our rural banks or even sometimes our commercial bank, go and sit in there and see what denomination most are deposited. These are the ex-seller who are close from selling eggs at the end of the day, running to the bank to deposit the small money she's made into her account. And those are predominantly the 2 CD, the 1 CD, and sometimes the 5 CD.
All right.
The coin, somebody will say, can easily get missing because that's a coin. So that's one disadvantage. However, I think that the economy itself is growing, it's expanding to a certain level. So for the giant business operators, for the manufacturer, for the producer, for the medium business enterprise, would rather see it as too bulky to always be carrying 2 CD notes of, let's say, 5,000 or 1 CD note of, let's say, 10,000. But to the micro business seller, I mean, sometimes it will take about a month for her to see 50 CD notes. One. So look at the dynamics in this economic space I've explained.
All right.
Then it will tell you why it is important to really look at the decision that has just come out as a result of the end of the MP.
Okay. Thank you. Asalasi, that's how time will permit us. Very grateful. I think we just began a discussion. We'll continue to look at the pros and cons of the phasing out of the 1 CD and 2 CD notes. This has been Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyakun. God willing, don't forget tomorrow we're going to continue our SME narrative.